In the last video the Miata was in, I was driving it from Nevada to Wisconsin, which was issue-free aside from in Colorado, where it snowed in the Rocky Mountains. But I made it through that, did some donuts, popped a tire, and then after daily driving the car, I blew up the differential.
Covered in it's not the greatest time to be working on the car. I'm a fucking differential out of the fucking shit, bitch.
And 10 days after I got it back on the road, I got in an accident. So I was in the middle lane to go straight, going straight, and there was a flashing yellow light. There was a guy on the other side of the intersection that I did not see who had a flashing red light. So I continue. The speed limit is 30, which I was just approaching as I just got onto the road. And I had a yellow light and no reason that I saw it to yield. But then suddenly, this guy gasses it across the intersection, and I T-boned him. At the time, I had a Chevy S10, but I had brought that to a different shoddy mechanic, just could not handle repairing that, so I sold it. Ended up driving the Miata through a lot of the winter, which was interesting to say the least. Around that time, I bought a Jeep Cherokee for $900, fixed it, and then it lit itself on fire. Kept driving the Miata. And next, I have a story about how if a high school friend offers a deal on professional work to you, then you should probably just go to a professional. So after I post pictures of the accident, I have a friend message me and offer to make the car look like brand new. He said that his dad had a shop and that they had done similar work before, and that if I brought the car over, that they could give me a time frame and budget for the work to be done in. I brought the car over and they determined that it would take 2 weeks and $3,000 to make the car look like brand new. And that would be the price for all of the labor and a paint job, but not including materials. So I got a parts car for $1,000 that had all the body parts that I need and everything for a candy paint job aside from the base coat. Just after I was discussing the price for the labor, I blew up another differential on the Miata, so I took the car over and they got to work ripping the body apart and doing the body work. Now at first they told me that they did not think they were going to have to cut anything to fix my car, but then they decided to...
Most people don't do it right, I do it right.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my!
What is this? Anything else I'm not seeing? Jesus.
Maybe that's why they had the fan over the top of it the whole time.
Probably, that makes sense. And
Because that fan was perfectly sitting right over the top of that hole the whole time.
yeah. Wow. This is the state that my car was left in. Have yet to find my door handles. I figured they might. Hopefully they're somewhere in here. But you see they left it nice, missing my radio. Both of my radios, pretty wild. There's also parts just all up under my seats. I found this. I don't know what these are for. I would assume something though. I don't know if you noticed, but I got a tripod. I also got the Miata put together for the most part. There's obviously not a hood on it. So it started with me being mildly inebriated one night and wanting to find my radiator hoses. Then the next night, I found my radiator hoses and... Just fucking smoothing out! Here, just leave it open. After I got it started, I couldn't sleep, so I stayed up all night and just kept working on it. By that afternoon, I'd gotten the whole thing coated in primer for the most part and put together enough to drive around the block.
But then my time to work on the car was up because it was time to go to the drift track with my buddy. Coincidentally, there happens to be a drift track about 40 minutes from where I live. He asked me if I could drive his 240 so that he could have his 240 and his Miata at the event. And this is what gave me the inspiration to finally start working on my car and getting it running. The Miata is going to be drifting next season.
Finally got the bumper on. It's time to paint. Ready. Got that protection, ventilation. We're good to go. Got a few coats down. This is drying. And we're gonna have to come back to this and see if it looks any better after that. I think it could use some more coats probably. There's some Bondo on this bumper and it's kind of porous. I should have sanded it down a little more. This bumper didn't need Bondo even, so I have to come back to this, see how it looks. I also no longer have my bike. I was gonna wait to make the Miata video till I got my next bike video done, but I decided that I'm not gonna force myself to do a bike video. Sold my bike to get a Impact and a cordless ratchet, Hercules, so forth. So since then I got a decent list of things done on the Miata. Got it coated in primer, got the front bumper back on, got the rear finish panel back on, both coated in primer. New taillights on, got all the lights working, got the pop-up headlights on, got new 7-inch LED headlights for them, new seats in, and I replaced the soft top. Along with the soft top frame I swapped from my parts car. Still a lot of stuff to do, but gotten a lot done so far, and in less than a month this looks from, you know, how it did before to basically like a completely different car. This is almost better than it's ever looked, aside from the residual crash damage that is left over. The reason that I took so long to fix my car is because originally I was going to tube it before putting it back together. The plans changed because I have since acquired a 5.3 liter that I might as well wait to tube the front end until certain things happen. In the meantime, I'm just going to get this piece together and ready to slide around the track until I blow up a transmission. I also need to find a body guy because I decided I'm not a body guy and I'm not going to fix the Bondo that has been put on the car. I want to get all of the Bondo off and have a body guy fix that, get a paint job, actual paint job. I'm going to tube the front end, and long-term plans, it's going to be a V8 Miata. I know there's already plenty of 5.3 Miatas, but I want a 5.3 Miata, and I think that I will be able to do it for under 10K in 2024. Well, it'll be probably not 2025 by the time I have that done, but maybe I'll have it started in 2026. Unfortunately, in the sleep deprivation, I accidentally forgot that I did not have a hood latch installed, and also forgot to re-bungee cord my hood on a test drive, so